Hello, welcome to Lecture 5, the Requirements Analysis. In this lecture, we will discuss the two topics, analysis modeling and the class diagram. First, let's see where the requirements analysis is located in software lifecycle. We know that the software lifecycle activities include requirements acceptation, analysis, system design, detailed design, implementation, and testing. So basically, the requirements analysis located after the requirements acceptation and before the system design. It's impressed in terms of class diagram to model the application domain objects. We may wonder the difference between requirements acceptation and the requirements analysis. The difference fall into two aspects. For the requirements acceptation, the purpose is to find out what customers want, and the output is a description of the system in terms of actors and use cases and descriptions. For the requirements analysis, the purpose is to produce a system model that's correct, complete, consistent, and unambiguous. The output is an object model plus dynamic model. So we need to formalize the requirements with the analysis models. We know that to come out the requirement specification, start from the project mission statement, we can conduct the requirement acceptation, and the output is the use case model. Then we conduct a requirement analysis. The output is the less model, including the static and the dynamic system aspects, and we need to validate the requirements, and finally come out the software requirement specification. So basically, to formalize the requirements with the analysis model, we need to clarify the static and dynamic aspects of the problem domain, and we need to validate the requirements to underpin the solution modeling. So the activities during the object modeling include the class specification and to find out the attributes and the methods of operations for the class, and we also need to find the associations between classes. So for this example, the example shows a class named as a bank customer. It has three attributes: account name, credit limit, and account number. And it has two methods: the update account and the send statement. It may have associations with other classes. So first, we need to identify the initial analysis objects. We need to recur the nouns or concepts in the use cases. We need to track the real-world entities system. We need to use application domain terms and to collect into problem domain data dictionary. And finally, we need to review definitions and attributes with the stakeholders. So for example, for the enter secure facility use case description, the flow of the events is the user presses finger on fingerprint reader, and the fingerprint reader scans fingerprint and sends image to the FS. The FS validates fingerprint and unlocks the entry gate, and the entry gate sends a signal to the FS that it has cycled, and the FS locks the entry gate, locks entry event, and increments occupant count. So we can identify the objects as a user, fingerprint reader, fingerprint, image, FS, entry gate, signal, and entry event, and occupant count. So among the identified objects, the user, fingerprint reader, FAS, and the entry gate are the actors or the bound systems, which we do not need to model in the requirement analysis. So finally, the identified objects are fingerprint, image, signal, entry event, and the occupant count. We need to come out the data dictionary to explain the object. So for example, for the fingerprint is a high-resolution image provided by fingerprint reader. The size should be less than 100 KB.